Azure. Did I get it?
Azure. It's okay. We'll get there.
All right. I just can't do it. But that's something that Echo plays. A lot of people fear his Anivia, in all honesty, and that just doesn't leave enough bans for the rest of the team because you still got to deal with Claky D's Jarvan and Mega Zero's Riven if you want to get all this stuff out of the way.
Go for that Kha'Zix ban out in mid. Look at, you can see him just talking to you like, I don't know, maybe, yeah, we should ban this. They're deciding it out. Anivia Kha'Zix out. There's Claky D. He's also getting a hand in it here.
Is that how we should ban this? Is that?
Yeah, it's probably what they're doing.
That's probably all the logic.
And then they roll a die, and you.
I mean, we've done the listen-ins before. They usually have really amazing logic for these things.
No, they do. Yeah, Dyrus.
Yeah.
Oh, Kale. Whoa. Bleep, bleep, bleep. It's totally logic. That's great. But yeah, Jarvan again. So much play. And you know what? When we went to Thailand, I was like, God, these guys play Jarvan all the time, and it's so much fun to watch. Why doesn't NA or anybody else Jarvan everywhere now?
Especially out of the jungle. This was what Claky D does. He finds creative gank paths using Jarvan that a lot of people don't think. You can hop over a couple really creative rushes. Like, you can go over the Dragon Pit to get by, like, Tribrush wards and then come all the way in behind if you're thinking of the blue side of the map. And he's super patient, super creative with the way he ganks, and it's really dangerous. He will play it every game if he has the opportunity.
So I'll have to see if MRN trolled us. Because at first he already said they're not going to pick Jarvan. And then they said they're going to pick Riven and a whole bunch of other jazz. And then he's like, maybe, and walked away. They're like, wait, what?
Then he also said, in the same conversation, he said they're going to pick Riven and Riven's going to be banned. So
100%, 0%.
He is someone who always has something to say.
There's the Riven. All right, so that was not a lie. And they do have Taric. Did they say? They also said Taric.
They also said Ahri.
They also said Ahri if they'll pick
Echo's
it.
Ahri in mid lane is his most played in this season. So they're going to get a lot of sweet spot champions, in all honesty.
That comfort level
Echo's
is
also
huge.
a main Taric. Like, if you look at his support list, not Echo, sorry, their support Atomic, his main support is by far Taric in rank. So they're really looking comfy right now.
Really great to stop the initiation, too. Nice dazzle on a Nocturne after that paranoia. Shut down a fight. So the composition is looking good for the counter. 2 picks coming up for Azure Gaming. Azure. And we'll have to see what they decide to do. Damn you, chat. Making me laugh.
I mean, I can't get it. I cannot say Azure.
So the top laner's out. They don't need to pick that, but it looks like they do anyways. And what else are they going to grab here?
All right, so Cho'Gath, Graves. That pretty much locks in either a mid or a top lane Cho'Gath. Mid Cho'Gath is honestly really mean if they decide to go with that. It could be anything. They are honestly leaving their options open, keeping that last counter pick to do whatever they want based on what MRN wants to do here. Here they're going to be picking their AD carry and their mid laner. Will they decide to go with something heavy AD mid, or will MRN have foretold us his strategies, and do they pick Ahri?
Ezreal still on the board, so there's the safe play there. Definitely a team you might want an Ez for, especially because of that Nocturne. And no, they said Urgot, and they are hovering on Urgot right now.
It's like, nobody plays Urgot anymore.
Yeah,
he
like, walked away, he goes, nobody plays Urgot anymore.
And we said, actually, and then because we were going to bring up OGN, and he said, blank Korea. And we're like, damn it.
Doesn't count, I guess. But they're hovering. They are really considering this. Wow.
This is if they do this, this is a completely premeditated, pre-planned composition. All 5 of these picks
nothing
are
on the right
they're
side
ready
matters
to go for.
to them right now.
Yeah, this is not a counter pick action at all. This is 5 champions that they've really wanted to play, and they have something prepared for. I'm getting excited here, messing up my words. But yeah, this is, if they win, they're in, and I'd be so excited to have a team come all the way from the online qualifier to make it just out of the group stage at this point.
Yeah, it's becoming a task for these teams at this point. Azure coming out of MLG, MRN the online qualifiers, and like we've been saying, they're the last ones left from the online qualifiers. Eliminations have gone swift today and quick for a few, but a lot have also moved on to that second day to vie for that contract, that $100,000+ in a new life.
And I just want to break down how these team comps are probably going to work. So for Azure Gaming, they have really good gank potential. Nocturne and Kassadin, once they hit level 6, are going to be crushing down. Nunu Graves is an average kind of lane, but mainly that team's going to be looking to roam and create a lot of action. You look over at Team Marn, though, and the bottom lane ganks are going to be huge for them. We know Claky D's jungle style on Jarvan is all about ganking bottom. He really allows Echo and Mega Zero to handle their own thing, and he helps them out. Nothing sets up ganks better than something like Urgot and Taric. So look for a lot of action there and hope that their solo lanes can carry themselves.
This is going to be a big matchup.
My hands are cold. Why is this happening? Right? So you have to make sure you warm these things up. Communicate just like you have. Pretend you've been here before. Fake it until you make it, in all honesty. And Demon Lol, you could see he was, especially in that last game when this was the first game for all these guys, he was the one who was calm. Him and Bloodwater, because they'd been there before. Now all these guys should be a little bit more settled in now that they're in their second game. Can't wait to see what happens.
The GGs go out between both teams. They make their way, and they have a ping going down for that top side. So they're going to put somebody just at the Wraith Brush ward, make sure they have vision so they can attack if anything happens.
And will we have any crazy cheese strats coming out here? Because the last game we saw a very good delayed invade by Azure. They managed to sneak by all the wards. They got the first blood. Then we saw a really slow game from there on, but they still managed to get that. Everyone on Marn is hoping that someone from Azure is going to come by and put a ward.
Yeah.
That's the spot. They're just like,
I thought they were both doing it at first, but it looks like, again, you know, another just minute 40 top lane brush.
And the interesting thing about this is in a normal tournament where they weren't playing simultaneous games, they would know this was coming. But they have no way of scouting that this happened for the last game, so they might execute the exact same strategy twice in a row. Interestingly enough, though, Marn's looking for action because no one is not, you know, they're all grouped up as 5. Normally you see a couple people checking this. We might see a 5v5.
They moved by now last game. Azure was already in that tri-bush by 11, or 120 rather. I was going to say 111, but it was 120. So they are going for the 140 for sure. They're going to make sure Wolves were taken, and they're going to go back, but it doesn't look like they want Wolves. They may have seen this from last game.
Mega Zero already in the bottom lane, so 5 of them able to go in, but Atomic was sitting in the right brush. They're going to be able to avoid the death. They will lose their blue buff, but Claky D should be able to pick up red. Not the worst situation. Actually, Azure Gaming completely backs out. That's in favor of Marn.
It really is. The jungle's going to be so much faster, and we got a lane swap.
You are absolutely right. Urgot running top lane against Cho'Gath. Nothing here had to play the 1v2 lane on Cho'Gath as well last game, and he did a remarkable job on it. Demon Lol and Bloodwater also destroyed the solo laner that was on the salad bar, keeping Singed to 7 minion kills at 9 minutes at some point. I feel like Mega Zero will do slightly better than that. Let's see how it folds out. Unfolds would be a much better way of saying that.
Hey, that's all right. I fold things out as well. Mega Zero taking a little damage there. He's going to have some trouble until he can get that shield up, until he can get a scepter under his belt and get some sustain. Dazzle onto Cho, and they're really just harassing for single CS right now. He's getting as much of an advantage as possible. Claky D, again, an early just pressure on mid. He's going to look for this one. He's got that flag toss. He's looking to go in. They're clearing out the minions, getting that charm in range. If they can knock it on him, it's going to be a lot of damage.
I don't think it's going to happen just because the minions are already pushing a bit in. Can they get it? At least they burned a flash.
They did burn his flash, but you were right. That line of minions kind of blocked off charm. Great job there on the pressure, and Claky D is known for just taking a camp and going right back at it.
One thing I really need to keep track of, though, is this bottom lane where Mega Zero was the first to the creep line, so it's pushed up beyond his ability to get experience if they decide to zone him out down bottom. Mega Zero is going to be in a lot of trouble if Demon Lol and Bloodwater decide to freeze it there for quite a while. Claky D would have to go down there and shove it to the turret just so the lane could reset and Mega Zero can get experience. This is quite dangerous, but actually, Azure farms it themselves and push it back. No worries.
Yep, he also grabbed about 9 potions in those wards in base, so he's going to be able to sustain for a while down there. Marn in this top lane pushing quite hard. As you see, nothing here. He did well. We kind of pointed out that, you know, his factor as an AD carry kind of comes into play in the 2v1 lane, and it may have helped him last game, so he uses that to his ability here. And Claky D, after that camp, grabs his red. He tries to go for a gank, but it looks like he's going to go down through the tri-bush.
Now Claky D going to try to create some creative things, but he's walking clean through a ward. Will they be able to back off in time? Bloodwater zooms back. At the very least, though, they're allowing Mega Zero to get farm. He's already double what Singed was at 9 minutes from the last game, so I'd say the 1v2 lane is working a lot worse for Azure in this game.
So a lot of the junglers have come to lane to really walk away. They did get a flash in mid, but we see Nocturne going down to mid, backing off of Echo, now going to the Golem's top, and he may actually help on this pressure towards Cho'Gath in the top lane. He's not taking damage, but he is being just stunned under the turret, harassed on that CS. You can kind of see him poking back and forth. There's the Nocturne chat as he slowly comes in.
Walks right through that pink ward, so everyone on MRN up top is going to be able to back away. It's really back-to-back tri-brushes have been warded as they fight mid.
So hurt. One more auto attack. He flashes away, and both of them are going to live with a sliver of health.
Wow, so 50 health on Kassadin and about 90 health on Echo. One more auto attack from pretty much either one of them would have been the end for that. They both started with that Crystalline Flask, though, so because they didn't trade any kills, it's pretty much a zero-sum for them right there.
So in a lane like this, obviously Kassadin's looking to hit that 6 and just peace out, no? He wants to roam as much as possible.
But that's the crazy thing. Ahri wants to do the same thing.
Right.
Right, Kassadin and Ahri are very similar in their playstyles. I'd say Kassadin slightly more persistent mobility,
right,
but Ahri has slightly more burst mobility in the team fights with those 3 stack of dashes ultimate. But early on, I'd say Ahri should have the edge in that lane. It would have been a disaster if she fell there.
MegaZero faring well for himself, 23-19 in the lane swaps for the tops, which are now switched around. And, you know, he said he wanted to play Riven. It's really a strong champion for MegaZero, and the comfort level for him is just above through the roof right now. So he knows what he's doing. He still has 4 potions left, so he's gone through 4 rather, the last time we've seen him. Still has that last ward, so he's ready to be in that lane for quite some time.
Yeah, and we actually see the gank up top. The Rupture just missed. Gank down bottom also gets repelled, so they keep trying to help out these 1v2 laners, but they're just constrained to their turrets.
Super safe game right now, chat. The elimination, or the first match, I guess, would be the knockdown game, not the elimination. It is going to be big for these guys still. Going through 2-0 still means a lot.
Prawley actually had a very interesting comment during his interview after the second group of the day. He said, "We look at these groups as 2-0ing top of the group is easier than finishing second. Because to 2-0, just win 2 games, is easy, but to come back after a loss, they find to be quite hard. They considered this single 1-game elimination. So for either of these teams, if they lose, it's really tough to come back in that second one, which is why they could be playing so passive early."
You know, sometimes you have to force yourself in that mentality, and it works out well. Mega trying to put that pressure on a 2v1, and he's all by himself. Great job there. He's just being aggressive, knows he's going to be going back soon. He can do what he wants right now.
It's actually really remarkable, the fact that he's in a 1v2 lane. Look at the farm between Graves, his 2v1 lane mate, and Mega. Wow. 50-35. Like, he's not down by very much. And it's bad for Riven to be in a 1v2 because she really relies on getting an early advantage and just taking it home. She scales so well off that early attack damage that putting him in that situation is a little bit troublesome. They've just gotten him out of that. They threw Atomic and Heartbeat bottom. They're trying to get him 1v1 up top. We'll see if Azure decides to counter by sending 2 members up as well.
Are indeed putting him up. We see Claky D up top. He may try to just stay there until Riven comes in for a lane gank. No, not enough mana. He's going to back out. Cho'Gath also not there. And we do have a 6 on Nocturne. So these wards placed by MRN, they got to be placed a little bit farther out. And they have to be conscious of the fact that that Nocturne now has his ultimate. We'll have to see if those lane ganks come into play. The bottom lane is coming back. Cho'Gath will be down there, and MRN follows him, or rather Nocturne follows him.
This game has been passive up to this point, but I expect to see an explosion of action very shortly, especially if Nocturne goes in right now.
Bing, bang, boom. There it is. Paranoia down onto Heartbeat. They are forced to back out of that one.
Backed out of that in a heartbeat, actually.
Yeah.
Just flashed right out of that. Ooh, nah, that was too bad.
That was great.
Yeah. But as soon as Heartbeat hits level 6, Claky D can come bottom with a gank, and they could easily combo nothing here straight down. They can chain CC on him for quite long enough. All of these guys, even Ahri and Kassadin, so reliant on getting level 6, that might be one of the reasons we've had so much passivity, one of the other reasons we've had so much passiveness thus far.
And I gotta give high five to both teams for the double swap back to the other lanes. That's so random.
Well, it was a matter of
MRN
trying to get MegaZero into a 1v1 so he could punish Cho'Gath, and it was a matter of Azure saying, no, you're not doing that. You are one of the best top laners in the world, and this guy plays AD. You're not playing against him 1v1.
So here we go, Heartbeat pushing on the turret, getting those Asset Hunters down. Still just hitting. That is some pain for Cho'Gath, but the sustain at his turret helps. He said that Flask is going to keep them in that lane. Level 6s are hitting around the map, chat. These team fights are going to start happening, but there's still a lot of those turrets up. So I think it's going to be the mobility from Echo, and we have Shousters to start off for their teams. Really, the lanes aren't giving themselves anything. All these ganks are failing. Not failing, just not happening.
And even the turrets aren't getting pushed that much, because you look into the top and bottom, both of the 1v1 laners, those things have barely been touched. So really, slow game. Where is the action going to come from? You can see Nocturne trying to get around to gank Echo. It's just not happening at this point. And farming alone, Marn has a very slight edge, but that means almost nothing right here.
So Nocturne doesn't have his ult, so this could be a quick Spirit Rush if she's not silenced. There's one, but the Fear goes off. Ooh. She's still silenced. This could be a go down here. The Ignite is on. The last hit goes off. First blood to Shousters.
Brute force ganking. They comboed it so well. Ahri can't use any of her spells when she's feared or silenced, and they chained the 2-second silence into the 2-second fear just right, so she couldn't dash out of the fear tether. Very well communicated, and they timed those spells just right as Jarvan comes in for a gank top.
Oh, great job, though. Demon Lol using himself as a personal ward, put himself in the bush and saw it exactly as it happened. They're able to turn this one around. Now a 3v1, Claky D taking quite a bit of damage, still stuck in a 4v1, Claky D for one more shot, and the double kill. Beautiful play by the top lane.
Those are that is the worst place for a double kill to go if you're Marn right now, because Demon Low just had 18 kills in the previous game on Ezreal.
Oh my gosh.
He's the most experienced and possibly most skilled player on Azure Gaming, and he just got fed, so they have to be extremely careful. That was disastrous for them. We'll see if they can capitalize off of it.
Nothing here, also getting a chance to push his lane down bottom for free and waste a whole bunch of minions to the tower, so he backs happy as well. Catching up in some CS there, now only down by 6, which was about 15 to 20 just a few seconds ago.
Where's the next set of action going to happen? Because as soon as Marn tried to do something, the first real gank Clanky D went for, popping his ultimate, Mega Zero popped his ultimate and flash as well, backfired horribly. The mobility from Shousters just outmatched the mobility from Echo because they were able to burn the Ahri ultimate in the previous gank. It's going to be tricky for Marn to get back in this one.
Yeah, I honestly thought that whoever was coming from Tribush was somebody from Team Marn, but I was like, wow, Shouster moved fast. He was up there in a second.
And on top of that, they didn't even have to burn the teleport on Shogath, so the mobility really out the wazoo for Azure right here.
So Ahri still trying to push mid quite hard, actually, knowing that she's been a focus. Not so much a focus, but ganked a few times recently. Nocturne is actually just on the backside, probably waiting to Paranoia in with Kassadin. He's going to go back into his jungle. Yeah, the pings you can see there. Nocturne is just behind Kassadin. I'm not doing this.
Mega Zero's got to be getting pretty frustrated around this moment because every time he's tried to go to a different lane, Demon Lull and Bloodwater have just stalked him there. They're not letting him get his farm, they're not letting him get his items, and most importantly, they're not letting him do his magic because the Nocturne gank comes in mid.
It does. They do not give up on that positioning. The fear goes down once again, and they catch him as soon as he comes back to lane.
We talked in the pregame, Shousters and DJ Lambo's gank combos are crazy. I wasn't sure if they'd be able to gank an Ahri, but they are showing they can.
Mega Zero could go down. Collateral damage was enough to burst for one last auto attack, and it could be Bloodwater falling here. Claky D keeps the tower up. Bloodwater gets himself out alive. The Blood Boil for the second kill. Another double kill for Demon Law. 4-0 now.
Even more trouble. The double kill
that's
was
the worst person to get a double kill up top.
It's the worst person to be 4-0 at this point. It's just getting worse and worse. It's the worst person. Like, every kill, in all honesty, that has happened for Azure is on the perfect person. Getting Kassadin the kills, getting Nocturne the kills, and getting Graves the kills are the three by far most important people. They're keeping also Echo and Mega Zero, really the two strongest members of the team, down as well. So this could not be going better for Azure.
5,000 gold lead now separates these two teams. And after that bottom, you know, I'm surprised they didn't go Dragon, but they're getting the ping on it right now, and it actually looks like they will.
They're going to have to go somewhere. Like, if they get the Dragon on top of this, it's just going to continue adding up to their advantage. Marn is nowhere near. I mean, nothing here is trying to harass them off blue, and him and Kassadin are actually keeping back 3 members of Marn. All the positional advantages showing for AZG. Stop trying to say Azure because they screw it up again. Let's see if they can make something happen with this blue buff.
So Claky D rather coming through quite strong, showing some aggression. Looks like he wants to get a beast on this one. Actually, they might give that up. The Dragon is going down, and I love this. It's just nothing here, playing cat and mouse top with these guys at blue, saying, hey, this for Dragon, sweet. But they finally figure out what's going on, and they mobilize.
Really seems like AZG is coming into their own right now because the first game looked sloppy against the Salad Bar. They won it convincingly by the end, but the road there was rough. The crispness of their gank so far in this game with the way Shousters and DJ Lambo are coordinating to finish off Ari, and especially the way Demonlaw and Bloodwater are coming together in the bottom lane, turning around multiple ganks and keeping Mega Zero down, who I'd say would be the star player of Team MRN, has been awesome.
Chat, we're 15 minutes into this game. A little bit of a poke there coming out of the right side of the stage as they enter onto the scene and say, we are here to protect mid. Coming in now 15 minutes in, there's a lot of Giants belts to stop some burst damage that would be coming from the side of MRN, but who's in the upper hand right now? There's a lot of gold, there's 6. Could the fight be won by MRN if it's a 5-on-5?
Maybe. They'd have to get a lot of luck. I really see AZG as the huge favorite coming into this fight. Here's a teleport. We might see the fight now.
Cho'Gath is going to be there as well, and they make it a 5-on-5 right away, and we'll see if that 5-on-5 works. It is going to be Jarvan going down first. Demonlaw could fall here. That's going to be some good gold, but it goes to Tarek. That's not so helpful. Kassadin onto Riven, and it looks like they will finally drop down Atomic. A few more hits there, the Rupture, and the last auto attack to finalize. Echo is being chased down here. They may drop Shousters. It's going to be Echo trying to walk out of this one. One last attack brings it in to 3 for 5. Ouch. Yeah, super duper ouch. So, Jack, you didn't even really have to answer my question because it just got answered.
Ouch. That's the fight. It actually turned out better than it should have, in all honesty. I feel like MRN should have lost that fight a little bit worse. They finally managed to kill Demonlaw, and that was the big one. They swapped him with Heartbeat. Everybody dove straight on him. The Riven ult was used on him as well, at least the execute portion. But even with all that, not enough. They couldn't finish off Shousters, and now just everyone getting really, really big on AZG. 6,000 gold lead at 16 minutes is really big.
And usually it wouldn't be a big deal, but that money so could have gone to somebody else than Tarek.
It's really true. Like, it is so true.
Such a
Mega Zero
5-kill shutdown to Tarek.
Mega Zero really needed that gold. It happens in the midst of a fight. That was not a mistake by Atomic. It was just an unfortunate packet of damage that landed at the right time to finish a kill.
Best last hitting support ever. So we see them pushing in here. They're actually taking quite a bit of poke on this, chat. Mega Zero's taking a few hits. They're trying to siege down on this turret. They have some good damage, eventually getting it, obviously, but it may be worth an initiation from AZG. They go in on Atomic. It's going to be that taunt. A beautiful full team stun from Mega Zero, besides one that wasn't even there. A great job there. Very hard to do as it's just on that pinpoint in Origin, but he really saved that initiation.
Keeping the pressure up. They actually have 2 members of AZG recalling right now. They got their first turret. They could maybe continue that push, but they decide to take the small advantage, not make any game-losing mistakes, and back off.
11-3 now, 17 minutes on this one. We are 5,000 gold up, 3 turrets now in favor of AZG as they move down the map. They've taken out all outer 3. They're not really warding offensively in the jungle, so they're not gaining too much ground other than just that lane and what they can see with minion stats. So possibly they have that Ruby, but they're not really putting it in any of the forward positions. Well, there's a Wraith one, awesome.
Yeah, they're not taking too much aggression with it. I'd completely agree with you there. They're starting to get the map control. I mean, especially having picked up Demonlaw just a little while ago, their team synergy is definitely not all the way there yet, so they've been able to get the combo synergies going. Like DJ Lambo ganking mid for Shousters, very strong. Demonlaw and Bloodwater are working great together, by the way. That is one of the strongest combos we've seen today, I'd have to say. But their overall synergy and team strategy still needs some development. We'll see how they're able to close this game.
So they've actually put a beautiful line of wards. They're making that first half of the jungle theirs. It could be scary down to that red Golem and Wolf camp. We'll have to see what they do. They're just kind of pushing this lane in mid. They're getting Cho'Gath back with them. They now see Riven top, so this could be a definitive push here. Nocturne ulti is up. They're finding him in the side here, just towards the Wraiths. Looks like it's just a little back and forth. He smites away the big Wraith.
And now all 5 members pushing up the mid lane. This is a dangerous spot for AZG. If someone got Urgot swapped into a turret, 4v5, that would be a potential error. But wow! He's too low to start.
He wanted to turn around, I think, and swap that almost, but he was like, can't, silence, can't do it. So all that pressure, that all came from just Shousters. You know what? Those abilities are already back up for him, and that is huge. He can just wipe out the AD carry in one shot.
You just compare the items and the gold between the 2 mid laners. Kassadin versus Ara, we talked earlier about them being very close matchups of each other. 5,300 to 4,600, and Schuster's coming around the back. They're really looking to fight on this turret. Might be dangerous, though.
Dazzle goes in on Lambo. He got a good shield off, mitigated a good amount of damage there. They get only about 25% on the turret. Forced to back up.
Yep, they're going to straight back away. DJ and Lambo taking a bit too much damage.
That bottom wave.
They really need DJ Lambo to be healthy to be able to go into that. He's tank Nocturne, Sunfire Cape. You know what he's doing. He's the only, him and Schuster's going in together to finish off those targets. The dive buddies, so to speak, trying to finish that off. They have a lot of control here, really.
So we actually see Nocturne and Jarvan both in this game not choosing to upgrade the Wriggles. On the B stream, actually, I was talking to Kobe, I'm like, everyone that we saw upgraded to Wriggles, and now we have these guys not choosing to.
Just messing up your build path.
Messing up everything. I don't know, man. It is quite a bit extra gold just for some health steal. Or life steal.
You get the persistent ward, which is really nice if you can get it fast. But for Nocturne, he's actually... I'm checking if he's running lifesteal Quints. And he's not. But he gets the passive heal, at least, which allows you to get by with just running the Wriggles. And Jarvan, since he got to the Warmogs, the health regen's keeping him up healthy enough. So they're bypassing the ward. They know their support's got the Ruby Sight Stones. Guess they think that's enough, and they are saving the money getting to those big tank items sooner.
So with a build that Urgot is usually accustomed to, with a Graves being so fed, is the late game even there for Urgot? Is it going to come back around?
Usually, Urgot is about assassinating the enemy AD carry. And they can still get that to happen as long as Urgot doesn't get silenced by Kassadin. It's going to be really interesting to see how that goes back and forth. That's going to be the play there. Every time, Heartbeat's going to try to swap in Graves, but Demon Lull, amazing reaction times, trying to get out of there with his quick draws and his flashes. It's going to be about MRN dogpiling Demon Lull, and Demon Lull trying to just save his team.
Where is the initiation going to be? Urgot sits safely within his team, so really Nocturne has nobody to go to right now. You see Lambo on the outside, Mega Zero trying to get there close. He actually flashes on him. He still has a few more Broken Wings to get there. They are going to be feared out. Going for the switch. Actually, he dodges. Did he just dodge the switch? He went to switch him and he paranoid out of it, I think.
No.
No?
He got him. I think so.
Nothing here coming. Nothing here is going to be into the fight, and it looks like they are going to try to take him down. He's just so tanky right now. They could lose this one on just focusing him. No, Demon Lull could not get into the damage. It's just, he was too tanky for even the range of Graves.
What happened with the Nocturne ult is he got swapped in while his ult was active, but after the 1 second suppress wore out, he continued to move past.
All right.
So it looked like he flew the entire range through.
That was ridiculous. My brain just crashed and rebooted in like 3 seconds. So as they move down mid, 22 minutes on this one, we finally see a bit of aggression after the lull in the game, and they look to control a bit more of the jungle here, Jap.
And now it's a matter of them having to take some action. DJ Lambo got cut out. They were unable to punish, in all honesty. They had to burn a lot going to save him. We're going to see their move, really, if they decide to pick up Oracles and start clearing around Baron. But for now, they're just pinging down on Mega Zero, trying to back in that ward.
Pushes all over the place. They actually have really good pushes on their lanes. They could really go to force something here if they weren't so far behind in items. That is really what's keeping them back. And we're going to have to see if the gold here, if these minions that they don't have to farm, they have to get out there. They have to get vision on the map, and they have to get to that experience. And
Graves and Kassadin are sitting on mountains of gold, so to speak. Kassadin just bought the item, needless to large rod, straight up. Demon Lull is going to be going back and getting that last Whisper right after he picks up that red buff, if I had to guess. But bad timing, because he's sitting on a huge amount of gold, and the dragon is up, and MRN is forcing. They might have to concede this, Azure would.
And MRN is doing this a little bit blind. The only wards they have are right next to him, so whoever comes out of the jungle here is what they see. They are going to be on dragon. They're a little bit in pit. They get out safely. Long range dazzle there. It's going to be picking it up, so we have a 29-minute dragon for your next one. We'll have to see if that is even a contest. By that time, I think it's going to be all about the Baron Jet.
And you know what, Riv? MRN is sticking in this because there was a 6,000 gold advantage at 16 minutes. It's now a 4,500 gold advantage at 23 minutes. So they've gained 1,500 gold back in the past 6.5 minutes. And they're keeping their map control up. They haven't lost any dragons, and they actually picked up a kill. It was 3 for 11, now it's 4 for 11. They're doing a pretty good job sticking around. AZG really has to do something to finish.
AZG is making their fight super fight-oriented for their team. They've grabbed the Locket, maybe looking to get something else as Aura initiated here. They do have the Randuins possibly being built by Cho'Gath already, so their fights are already ready to assist each other rather than whoever's in front of them at that time. Coming onto this turret, the siege is quite good, but the retaliation is just as good. Duskbringer, as well as that Orb of Deception. The taunt in, they focus too much on him though. That was a good choice to back off.
So this is one of those sustained pushes. The turret's on about 1/3. Heartbeat really wants to land a swap on a good target. They might fight right here. Might come now.
Great job. Oh, they get Demon Lord completely out of the fight. They're going to chase him. There's the dive in as well. They find Echo, and a Claky D is trying to get Demon Lord. Beautiful kiting by him. Allows his team to get the upper hand of the fight. MRN is left with 2 here, and it looks like Mega Zero is going to be in the front. They chase down, and Bloodwater throws down a great ultimate, locking up 3 of them. Mega Zero forced out of the fight.
Can he
as
clean?
They take down. He may be able to. Mega Zero being out of the fight gave him enough time to really size everybody up, and Jat, it looks like he's going to push him out.
He's going to keep chasing too. Riven's a pretty good chaser. If he can dodge a Rupture, he might be able to finish, but the Blood Boil just appears to be too fast. Riv, 3 for 3 on top of MRN's turret. They might just be sticking around in this one. They crushed onto Demon Lull. They finished him off, and immediately when he went back to base, Demon Lull picked up a Chain Vest. He doesn't want to die there because you can really see how much they rely on his damage in fights.
That was absolutely amazing. That was a fight of wards as well. You just saw him being placed there over the bush, in the bush. They were trying to get vision back, and Mega Zero kind of stopped and sized everything up. He said, now.
Well, so much happened in that fight when they dove onto Demon Lull. Is like everything just peeled immediately off of them, and that allowed Mega Zero, who doesn't really have any defensive itemization, to just bunny hop around, hopping on everyone, and cleaned up that fight. He was doing a huge amount of the damage there.
Battle Bunny Riven making the impact plays. 2, 3, and 2, buying some health potions actually as he goes back. It's leaving the Brutalizer in that build for more penetration. Like you said, nothing to really mitigate and defend for Riven yet. So that was a beautiful way to engage that fight, and they're probably going to have to do that from now on to get past Cho'Gath and deny him being tanky all fight. He actually left with very low health. So in the end, they had perfect focus the whole time.
Yeah, Cho'Gath now with 3,952 health. It's a big monster.
Looks like we have that position. Here it is, Jat. It's going to be 3 minutes until Dragon even comes back up. There's no reason to be on the bottom half of the map. Cho'Gath does have his teleport up. They do not have a ward on the Baron, though. Actually, the ward is right where they're standing. So Cho'Gath is going to be in that party just a few seconds. Will he decide to teleport in? I don't see it coming in just
they kill
yet.
Cass.
They throw it down. They actually take down Cassid in there very quickly, and this may be the fight that they're looking for. No, the other AP carry goes down. A great paranoia coming in. Graves falls. Demon Lull will not be able to do the damage needed, and Mega Zero going to chase this one away. Nothing here is the last one left, and the teleport came in a little bit too late. They're able to clean up this fight, and with what is left, that should be the Baron.
Riv, they got the initiation. That was crazy. I don't know why Jousters went in to start that fight, because nothing here had a perfect split push. All they had to do was stall. But this would be an amazing comeback, because they were 6,000 gold down 11 minutes ago, and they're about to take a gold lead with the Baron buff if they can get this after winning a series of amazing team fights. It's tough for them to take this Baron, though. They don't really have an AD carry to finish it off. There's no one to stop them, though. They're going to get it.
Slowly but surely, and there it is. They close the gold gap completely, not completely, 300 gold to even.
I got it. We're going to see a replay of this fight. We're going to get it one more time. And the start of this fight, Riv, was crazy. Shousters jumped in for Mega Zero, but what are you doing? They just charmed you and jumped on top of you from here. Look at Demon Lull. That's the only thing that matters right now, because he's the only damage dealer left. They continually, Mega Zero jumps on his face over and over again. Heartbeat wasn't there for the start of this fight, and then it took him about 45 seconds to kill nothing here, but we don't need to watch that part because they finished off the tanky show.
There's nothing here to watch. So we go back to the game, picking up blue. People are resetting. We have MRN now. Not so much an upper hand, but definitely grabbing some footing now.
And I want to see if they're able to close this one out, because we just saw AZG, you know, they brought out their mitts and they threw a good one right there, because they had this game in the bag. If they had a way of coordinating and we're like tower diving with Caston and Nocturne, they should have been able to just take them right off the map, but they've allowed them to crawl their way back into this game. and one win away from making it out of this group stage. Either one of these teams in what is now an extremely close game. I'd say the slight edge to MRN.
Yeah, chat, look, if you just look at AZG right now, their coins are stacked on each other on that mini-map. They are not moving without arm's length of each other. They do not want that fight to happen again.
This is a very beefy team, so to speak. You always get this when you pick up an Urgot. You kind of just become a team of tanks. You can see just Mercury treads and a Haunting Guise on Echo's Ahri makes him a little more resilient. The dive of Mega Zero, you know, just with the Black Cleaver and the Riven Shield alone, somewhat difficult to bring down. Unless Shousters can start killing some of these guys, I wonder, especially since they were losing, especially since AZG was losing fights before they're really fed, if they have what it takes to come back in this and even kill Claky-D, who's become a tanky beast on Jarvan in his own right.
They certainly have map control, Jack, completely taking towers with no contest. They're going to go ahead and back out and make AZG's jungle theirs. More than happy to just stay and take the wolves. They're even just spreading out to do it.
They're pinging down that mid turret as well. You can see the middle lane. Got a bunch of minions there. They might look to tower dive. This would be it's very hard to tower dive a Nunu. He puts up so much zone control with that absolute zero. MRN's going to have to make a move at some point. They might just try to poke it down and take it slowly. It's not far from the back of their minds how much AZG was ahead of them just prior. They've got to take this one slow.
Nothing here, trying to put himself in the front. And it does kind of pull MRN off the attack, but like you said, just poking this turret every time they can get it in. Even Echo's getting auto attacks in when he can. They don't want to go too close. Really, Cho'Gath more than happy to get poked. He's got that regen on him.
Yeah, they're getting out of here. They see the blue buff is up. They made no progress in that last push mid. The Baron buff only has a quarter of its duration left. They're going to make kind of something happen. The top turret falls because of the huge minion wave, giving them now a 2,000 gold advantage. That's an 8,000 gold swing from 15 minutes ago. Very impressive. But the sieging of turrets for these guys is really lacking. Without a ranged AD carry, they pretty much have to win team fights outside of turret range because these types of sieges do not translate well for MRN's team comp.
See what they have to do. You know, Zat, you're perfectly correct. We saw what happened in mid just now. They had to back off. Great job at the stop siege. And like you said, that new displacement. So backing off now, 32 minutes into this game. MRN trying to find their next path into that fight, their next path to victory, possibly looking to go 2-0 in the group here versus Azure Gaming.
So Baron buff is a 4-minute duration buff. It's almost gone for them. In all honesty, I feel like it's so hard for them to siege turrets that they're going to have to win fights around Baron. I could be wrong. The flag actually went down behind Claky-D there. They're only looking for a bit of tower damage. Avoiding an engage. Here comes though.
Mega Zero's that first one on. Echo actually gets tethered, but he spirit rushes out and he's swapped back by the position reverser. Atomic is the focus. It looks like AZG is focusing the wrong people here. One go down from each team, and it looks like they are under their turret, focusing Claky-D. This is kind of a disengaged fight though. They have to be careful where this goes from here.
The problem with that fight positioning for MRN is they've won all their fights by going deep onto Demon Lull. There was a turret and a base at the back of him. The only one who went in was Claky-D, and there was nothing there for him to finish. So a 2-for-1, well-engaged fight by AZG. They're going to try to take this right down mid because they know the Baron buff is gone, and they have a one-man advantage.
Slowly just creeping up, getting their wards now back into the jungle. We saw this just a few minutes ago, and it's returned, not back to normal. There's still a bit of that gold lead in favor of MRN, but it is back to more of an even game. That Baron buff really put AZG back on their heels, so they're kind of regrouping back from that now, Jet. 17-13. They're cleaning up everything they can, making sure that they don't have to worry about anything else on the push. The lanes are pushed, the camps are clear, they can focus on mid.
And Demon Lull, who has been the focus of every fight, has his Guardian Angel now. So the fights they've lost is because they get on Demon Lull, Ribbon gets there, crushes them down, you know, Heartbeat swaps him, Echo dives, Claky dives, everyone just goes straight for Demon Lull. With the Guardian Angel, that becomes much, much more difficult. This game is so close. These teams are actually itemizing very well against each other. You can see the mass of wards that Azure Gaming is trying to throw down, avoiding a poor initiation like they had the last time where they kind of lost their stranglehold on this game. This Baron buff's going to be coming up in 1 minute and 2 seconds. I cannot wait to see how they posture around this one because that is where the next fight's definitely going to happen.
That bulwark coming out for Jarvan, especially with the flag toss out, is very underestimated. They are going to have a huge buff in this Baron fight once they get to it, and to come onto that, to counter it, you have Feast and Smite to work with as they get in there. And if the Jarvan gets feared during that, you have no Smite.
You can Smite through fear.
Yeah.
It's
what?
Only suppressions that stop Smite.
What?
Mind slightly surprised?
Slightly.
Okay. But, dude, this fight, I honestly am very excited to see what happens. There was so much posturing going around here. Both these teams either on their second wind or really trying hard not to throw because Azure had this in the bag. It's going to be very hard for Mega Zero to get through. I really need to watch him in this fight to see if he can finish off Demon Lull. It's going to be so much of the key of this engagement, but the Baron Boogie is not something that's going to happen soon. These teams are being so cautious right now.
Oh my god, walking in the wards. They know they've been seen, so they have to reconsider their positioning for sure right now. Atomic going into the bush, making sure nobody's there. They're on either side of this chat. The cat and mouse is just so intense. I want these guys to go at it face to face here. And it looks like we may have that. Kassadin on the other side to make sure and show that there's 4 in the fight.
Yeah, Shellster's making sure he doesn't get caught out this time. He wants to flank around the back and finish off the back line of MRN. One of the reasons we're not seeing a fight here is because neither team has picked up an Oracle, so they constantly have vision of each other, and they're not allowing anyone to get the upper hand or the jump on them. Nothing here baiting them to try to start on him. We might see a fight. He's down to half. Here it comes!
There it is. It goes on to Echo. This could be a big one for both teams. Mega Zero is taking way too much damage to help. He is forced to flash out. A lot of damage onto nothing here, and he could go down. The AZG health bars are turning more red than they should be, and Lambo falls. Demon Lull falls down. Here comes the Guardian Angel back up, but he is swamped by Team MRN. The double kill coming up for Mega Zero, and once again, they get it out.
3 for 0. They're very low, but they might try to push on to end this. It's support and a Kassadin that is still alive. They're going to go for the end right here, it seems like. They have a lot of armor to tank down. No! They go for the second inhib.
They're going to start pushing their advantages here, and that surprised me too, Jat. There's quite a wave they'd have to push through for the Nexus turrets, but another inhibitor turret for them, and the inhibitor is going to do just fine. They still have 20 seconds on these spawns, but they're going to back out.
So still a huge advantage garnered. I'd have to say the path that Nothing here took around the side in the team fight really just doomed him. He got to half before the fight even started. The tankiest member could no longer soak up damage. I think he was very surprised by the damage that Urgot was putting out on him. The old Urgot builds that you saw in Season 2 were pretty much like a Brutalizer to a Frozen Heart, but when you have a Mura Mana and a Black Cleaver, it's a much increased amount of damage from Urgot. This would be an incredible comeback, and it wasn't off of crazy throw. It was just slowly but surely they picked up the right picks, fights, farms, and they're just coming right back in here. Baron's up again. The dance continues, but with 2 inhibs down, AZG has to have a full-time defender.
They are moving up towards that Baron. It spawned just about 2-3 minutes ago. The wards are down on it. They have, there you go, taking that out. Atomic finally getting that Oracles. We just mentioned these teams need to start clearing that vision off the map, finally picking those up. Wards cleared, wards placed, wards cleared, wards placed. The story of the game right now, there's another pink ward in the bush, and this is what it is about Baron. Deny as much vision as possible, and if MRN can get that fight again, they have to remember Mega Zero has had to flash out of those 2 huge fights that they completely won. He doesn't have that up anymore, but he still has that 1,000 range that Riven can just go. So that's going to be big. The summoners are down.
We saw that MRN won their first game on a base race. Everyone of Azure is pushing down 4 members, but Team MRN might be in close position. Could we see another base race?
Guys, this is going to be huge. 38 minutes into the matchup, we are seeing Team MRN being back. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining the streams. Thanks for watching all day. Team MRN versus Azure Gaming here. We almost saw a slight base race. The second one for Team MRN. Cloud9 winning on the other stage. Congratulations to them. Guys, we have an amazing match going on here. Chat, what's been happening?
This was Team MRN being very far behind. There were 6,000 gold down at 16 minutes. From there, they have just clawed their way back in this game. They got a couple pick kills onto DJ Lambo. Mega Zero and Flaky D have been able to dive straight onto Demon Lull's graves, fight after fight after fight. Just recently, MRN won a 3 for 0 team fight, took 2 inhibitors, and now they're looking to do something bigger. They're trying to end the game.
these fights are big. We just mentioned a lot of those summoners down that they have used to win these fights definitively. That Mega Zero focus, he still hasn't bought any HP, but he can output so much damage right now. And they see Claky D kind of running him in there so he can get poked. He wants to take a little initiation for himself. AZG not having it right now. They know that there's somebody on the other side of that wall as well. And MRN is going to solidify the advantage here as they try to go around the horn and knock down all these inhibitor turrets.
It's extremely interesting that MRN is not trying to solidify a Baron buff despite having 2 inhibitors down. There's almost no way AZG could stop them from getting that, but instead, they're trying to take the pressure of the 2 inhibitors and turn it into a 3rd one. You almost never see a 3 inhibitor comeback, so they're trying to secure that 3rd one right here. But we mentioned earlier, no AD carry means very slow turret sieging.
That it does. We'll have to see. No, the Rupture did not hit. They're just missing all day for nothing here. He has lost a few stacks in the fight, so he is losing a little bit of his HP. He's going to go down faster. Like we said, he was very surprised at how much damage Heartbeat did last fight. They are going to initiate. Claky D makes it so, and he pulls Nocturne a little bit more out of the fight, so he has to go back in, throwing down the Zonias. Atomic, however, going very low. Heartbeat trying to take down Shousters, and it looks like MRN got the fight they wanted under a turret. They're able to take down 2. Echo is now the focus, flashing out of that one, using his ult last time, but here's Mega Zero. He's the one that's been able to turn around the fight for these guys. Nobody's ever focusing him. Nothing here, and everyone forced on their heels, and it looks like MRN is able to salvage that one.
It's been a 2-for-1, but MRN's base is also, Azure's base is also taking tons of damage.
That is, the turrets at the Nexus are being hit up, and there is one going down. They have stalled and baited so much time, Jat. MRN is playing this one logically.
They lost 2 in the fight. It looked like a disaster, but the pressure from the super creeps has been too much. They get the 3rd inhibitor down. They're going to fall back from this, and huge exhale for them. They're taking this one slow because losing that fight would have been a huge disaster.
All right, so now we have to see if MRN can close this out. The minions have taken down 2 of their towers. They've been doing well on inhibitors, so props to the minions as well. But we're going to have to see them do it themselves. They have to get through that Shogath. They have to get through Lambo. And these fights are kind of coming up where they're only getting a few things after it now. They're not able to go all the way.
Demon Low's Guardian Angel is back up since the last time, so that's just going to extend the fight. The fact that they're pushed right up to the back of their base means they have plenty of room to fall back into. And those super tanky bruiser comps, you know, the damage only goes so far for these guys. They're probably going to be able to take this Baron, though. 2 of the inhibitors respawn for AZG, but the super minion waves are still, they're still roaming free. They still spawn. They have to clear those out. It's still not decided yet. Will MRN be able to be the first online qualifying team to make it out of the group stage? Because we are 0 for 6 today, and with that Cloud9 victory, the salad bar is out as well, which means MRN is the only team still alive from the 32-team online tournament.
Well, Jat, if AZG can come back from this, 10 turrets down, the last one standing is a Nexus turret for them. If they can come back from this, it'll be one of the most amazing ones. We've seen a lot lately, actually. They're just 2013 has graced us with amazingness. Pentakills, comebacks, and awesome base races so far that we have to go watch. MRN did last game. Here we are, going for the Baron again, chat. This could be in a definitive final push.
And the only triple inhibitor comeback we've seen this year was in a Zubu Blaze versus Zubu Frost game in OGN winter, and that has a unique set of circumstances, which this game comes eerily close to matching. It was a close gold game when the 3 inhibitors were down, and they overdove when they went for the base. Captain Jack on Caitlyn was able to push everyone out and clear them out from the Nexus. Something similar could happen here. Demon Law has a huge amount of gold, but with the Baron, with the fact that they've already been taking it slow, this is an extremely unlikely scenario that they get too overzealous and can't finish after once having 3 inhibitors down. But it could happen because a lot of the conditions are there for it.
Scary for AZG. Azure Gaming, we just saw Shouster going for blue as they walk through wards by Wraiths. He said, I'm not doing this. I don't want blue. I want to guard my base. So even the little things they can't get right now, they're forced to feed off of these minions being pushed in their base. MRN with Baron. That health regen is on. They have a team that has been fighting formidably for the past few.
There's a swap!
See, there's the swap coming in. He is going to be able to dash back out of that one, but the initiation onto Bloodwater. Bloodwater will fall down. There's the ultimate coming from Mega Zero. It looks like they have to clean this. The Zonias goes down. Atomic and Heartbeat full HP, and there it is. Lambo and nothing here about to go down. They say run to your fountain. We're going to the Nexus turrets, and it looks like they dropped them, Jat. This is going to be it. And it is going to be MRN on 2-0, our first qualified team.
What a